there's a reason, and we're going to talk about it tonight, why you see people take screenshots of stuff like this and post it somewhere. And they tag, because we'll talk about this, but there is a very important reason that we do that. And a big part of it is like understanding, if you truly understand what people want, you'll understand why posting stuff like that is important. Because what people are really looking for these days is community, to be a part of something. And they also want proof. One of the biggest things that you need for your business to increase your sales is proof. Like overwhelming proof. Like you have to really just do a lot of social proof, because otherwise this isn't tangible for people. It's not real. So doing stuff, wipe it with time, wipe it with alcohol. That's a good idea. I wonder if I can try and do that. I don't have alcohol, I don't think. But I'll try.
Shauna, there is a cleaner you can also get from either Staples or the Apple Store that works really well.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I've tried, like, my spit. I've tried, like, cleaner. I've tried microfiber cloths, and nothing's getting it off. So 11.5 water. I think I should try that right now. Vinegar. Okay, hold on. Let me try vinegar real quick, guys. I want to see, because I know I have vinegar.
Woohoo. Got a lot of guys on here tonight. It's looking good. Love it. Just thought I'd say something because it's all quiet and all.
Thanks. Yeah, it's super awkward. We take initiative. Oh, I don't know. Hate to say it, but I think it's fucked. It's weird. I don't know. I almost think it's like, it looks like maybe from the sun or something. I don't know. Too much laptop in the sun, can that damage it? But anyways, okay, enough about that. Let's talk about something useful. So I think we've been waiting long enough. We got 51 people. I would love it if we could get 9 more. But it's 7 minutes past, and I don't want to waste anybody else's time that got here on time. So they'll have to catch up. So this weekend, most of you know that I went to a mastermind with Mike Young. And it was, I will say that it was the most powerful trainings I've ever been to. And the reason being is because there was basically experts in many different fields there. And almost every single person that came up to talk literally went from like almost 0 to 7 figures within 2 years. And I think that I can relate a lot to that, because I went from 0 to, 6 figures in like 14 months. But I really am looking like, I'm like, okay, 6 to 7 figures, I feel like is, that's my next goal. So it was really interesting to be around these people that, I don't know if you guys how many of you guys have actually been to events, but there's something that happens when you get around certain people, and it creates something like super relative. So what I really realized was, okay, so you get around someone that's like making 5K online, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. 5K a month, every month, it's pretty good. Then you meet someone that's doing 10K a month online, and you're like, that's awesome. Like that would give me a good life, Then you meet someone that's doing like 30 to 50K a month online, and you're like, oh yeah, that's wicked. I would love that. And then you meet someone that's doing like 100,000, and you're like, that's really 100 to 200,000 a month. Well, I met people at this event that are doing 10 million a month. $10 million a month, their companies are. And those are online businesses. So what it kind of does is it gives you perspective for what really is possible, right? And I think that if you don't know what's there, you don't really know what's to shoot for. And obviously 10 million a month is like, I didn't know that you could really do that in the online space. And so that's why it's really cool to get around these people, because what it does is it starts to set the bar for you. And this is why when I talk to you guys on these trainings and I say, listen, you have to stop looking for all the reasons, like all the people that aren't succeeding and don't have those results, and start looking for the people that are. And like I have literally have an obsession with studying successful people and studying these people and what are their habits, what do they do, what do their days look like. And I think that one of the biggest things that I learned, you guys, is if you're really wanting this and you really want this life and this lifestyle, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, really, you really have to think about that, because something really interesting happened to me in the last few days, and I'm going to share it with you because I may be going through one of the most profound personal shifts I ever have in my life at this moment, at this time. And it's very hard for me to put into words what is happening, but basically I've decided that I'll hit 7 figures. And that I know that, and that's going to happen within the next 18 months probably. But people don't become millionaires just being like this, like just doing things, just studying successful people, just meditating. Like, you don't get there by just doing average things. So what I realized was if I'm truly going to hit 7 figures, and that's really what my commitment is, what am I willing to give up? What parts of me that I've been living with so much of my life am I willing to give up? What personality traits, what habits, what beliefs about myself that have kept me safe for so long? I did a session with Clay Moffitt, who is a hypnotherapist. I guess he calls himself a lot of different things. He doesn't really call himself hypnotherapist, but that is one of the things that he does. And I went and met with him. Luckily, I stayed an extra day because flights were cheaper. So I was like, well, I'll just stay an extra day. And went and I met with him after everybody had left. And he actually ended up doing a session on me, literally right in a parking lot. He hypnotized me standing up and just off a parking lot in front of like a Starbucks, just off to the side. And I felt really amazing after. And then I went to Sedona, Arizona. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Sedona is one of the highest vibrating places on the planet. There's so many metals in the rocks and stuff. And it's one of the most high vortexes on the planet. So I rented a car, like a convertible, and I drove straight there. It took me almost 3 hours to get there. I didn't leave till I didn't get there till like almost 6 o'clock. It was 5 o'clock. And I literally just parked and I started walking. And I went off the trail because that's just what I do. And I went off the trail. I ended up getting all scratched up, thought I was lost for a minute, and then found my way back to a trail and then went off a trail again. And I found this rock and I sat on it and there was nobody around. And if you guys are following me, you're going to see some of these pictures, but it was probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever sat in my entire life. And I sat there and I meditated, but in a different kind of way. I shot some ad videos because I was really feeling it. And then I just sat there and I literally just took it all in. When I left, I started getting a lot of pain in my physical body and it was freaking me out. And I thought something was wrong with me. And I was trying to figure out, I was what's wrong with you? What'd you do? Did you step on a poisonous cactus? Did you get bit by a snake and you didn't know it? But I started getting a lot of physical pain. Long story short, for the last 3 days, today, yesterday, and the night before, I've pretty much been uncontrollably crying, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. I just keep crying. And called Clay, and I was like, whatever doors you open, I need you to slam them shut, because I can't fucking do this right now. I got a business to run. I got a plane to catch. I got children to raise, and I am a freaking mess. Like, I was like, I have never ever felt like this before, and I don't know why I feel like this. And he was like, well, I can slow it down for you. He said, but you told me what you wanted. And he said, and I think that you can take it fast. He said, we can slow it down. He said, but I think you can handle it. And he said, I think it'll help you understand. If you understand what's happening, he's like, I mean, you might not get so freaked out. And if you're not so freaked out, you might be able to relax and just let it happen. And he told me that I'm literally mourning a part of myself that I'm giving up. In order to step into this next level of entrepreneurship and mentorship and business, if you want to level up, you're going to have to give something up that you believe about yourself, that you do every day. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot. So I want to just open with that, because I've realized that in the last few days, and obviously going to Sedona heightened it. That's like, there's no doubt in my mind that it was just like the perfect storm. And then I was by myself. So I was like with my thoughts and had all this time to think. But what I really want you guys to realize is that if you truly do want something different, you're going to have to lose something. You're going to have to give something up. And it's going to have to be something big. So that's the difference between people that really are ready and people that just say they're ready. So what I'm going to go into now is I went through my notes, and there's going to be some stuff that's not going to really be relevant to all of you here, because they did go into talking a lot about funnels and podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get into that part. If you guys have any specific questions about those things, you can ask me at the end. But I want to just go into some of the most important things I think that we went through. So number one, Mike Young came out and he said, and I really do recommend that you guys take notes, because it will really help to retain the information. I paid thousands of dollars for this information that I'm about to give you guys. So it's very, very, I think it can be very, very valuable for you. So you have to become known for something. You're all going to become known for something. What you're going to become known for and is, Selena taking notes again. Yeah, because this is going to be my interpretation of what I learned, and I'm regurgitating it for you guys. So this is what you have to become good at doing too, is becoming somebody who absorbs content and regurgitates it in your own way. So you have to become known for something, and consistency over time will create trust. So pick your core values and what you stand for, and your audience will follow you. They'll buy from you when they feel that you have status. They're following you because of status. So that's why at the very beginning, I told you guys to take pictures. It shows you're a part of something. It shows you're a part of something big. It's 56 people here on a Wednesday night. And you have training from people that are sitting in front of you, essentially for free and sharing this information because we are a part of something. So if you pick your core values and you start to become known for something and consistency over time, you'll never have any competition because you'll truly step into something so unique. And this is my biggest takeaway from this event was that all of these people were their own brand, essentially, but they had become known for what they were good at. There was a guy that was in sales, used to be an affiliate marketer, but got really powerful into sales. That was his niche. He became known for being sales. So, you have to dial in your message and what you're good at, and then focus on that as much as you can. You have to be, and I've spoken about this before, you have to be about service. Who do you want to serve, and who do you want to help? In order to know who you want to serve and who you want to help, you have to be a good listener. You have to hear people's problems. What are their problems? Because how are you going to know how to help them? Because at the end of the day, you guys, not all of us get the same thing from this system, right? You look at like David Wilkinson, he is like a magic, like he's done so well, but he's really about the product. Him and I have the exact same training, but what am I? I'm more about the branding, the influencing, and being in mentorship and leadership and creating multiple streams of revenue and different businesses, but with just being Shauna Clark. And a lot of times people don't even know what I do, which isn't a good thing either, which that's why I hired someone to help me with that, because I'm dialing in my message. So I have so much value. People are waiting for you to plant your flag. That's really what they're waiting for. And then they're waiting for you to do it consistently, and then they'll buy. The bigger problems that you solve for people, the more money you'll make. I want you to write that down, and it's something that I think that you should read almost every day. The bigger problems you solve, the more money you make. Then you inadvertently become of service to others. The biggest problem that you're doing probably in your business is you're overcomplicating things. You're trying to perfect a method. Everyone's trying to like put, what do you say? How do you talk to leads? How do you do this? How do you get this? How do you do that? Like, what are you doing here? You're trying to perfect a method. And one of the things that one of the guys said was launch, launch, launch. The biggest thing people are waiting for is perfection. You guys know the story about samurai swords? If you guys know like the samurai sword kind of, what's the word? Metaphor. Do you guys know the samurai sword metaphor? Say yes if you do know. Say no if you don't, so I can get an idea. Okay, so there's lots of no's. There's some yeses. The girls from the event are like, yes. Oh, lots of no's. Okay, perfect. So this is the thing, is you're waiting to perfect something instead of just launching and launching and launching and launching. Eventually your launch is going to be perfect because you're going to do it wrong enough times, right? So the samurais, I don't know if you guys know how the best samurai swords are chosen. They're the ones that take the most beating. The ones that take the samurai swords that take the most, hold on, I wrote it down exactly how that was said. It doesn't really matter. Basically, a samurai sword, the strongest ones are the ones that go through the most stress. They're the ones that go through the most stress. So they're the ones that are the strongest. So instead of waiting, just launch, just do it, just do it. What kind of result did it get you? Did it get you the result you want? This is why when people come to me and say, will you help me write an ad? I literally say to them, I'm like, how many ads have you wrote? If you wrote less than 30 ads, I'm not helping you. Or you can pay me $250 an hour and I'll help you write an ad. That's what I say to people. So, and it's not because I'm mean, but it's because I know that they haven't done enough. They haven't tested enough. And I can sit there, and which I have done. There has been people that have like hired me and I helped them write an ad and it went. But what you don't really learn in that, right? Unless you have written a lot and you're just trying, you can't get that tweak. But 30 ads is what I tell people. So that's the point. The point is, most people are waiting for perfection, and that's actually what he said, is that's one of the reasons most people fail. So I want you guys to write this down. We did it at the very beginning. Maybe not now. My son's screaming. Okay, you're going to write it now because I got to go, like for 2 seconds. I want you to write down why you are here, why you're here, and what is the significance of why you're here to you. What does it mean? Okay, am I talking too loud? Okay. I'll talk more quiet, okay? If you the lights on, just go downstairs and get your water. And then go to bed. All right, apparently I'm yelling. My 4-year-old just told me I'm way too loud, so I'm gonna have to tone it back a little. This is a really important question, and it was the very first question we were asked at the beginning. You guys know the power of intention, and if you don't know why you're here, then how will you ever formulate a message and be able to help anybody? You can't. It's the blind leading the blind. So you also have to know what the significance. Okay, baby. Good night.
But I want them to help me go to sleep. I want people to help me go to sleep.
You want people to help you go to sleep? Okay. What do you? Okay, you go. No.
Mommy, help me go to sleep.
Okay, come here. I apologize, you guys. I don't think this has ever happened, and I've been doing this for 2 years. So, I'll admit I know the why. I'm here for the call, but uncertain of the significance. Okay, so whichever, both, up to you. Do we write the why in our journal or in the chat? Whatever is the easiest for you guys. So, the significance is like, okay, so I'll give you mine, for example, so you can see. Okay. I am here because I want to do more and help more people make more money, but give less of my time. So basically, I want to learn to scale my business. I want to learn to scale my business, basically. The significance to me is freedom. Because when you have a goal that isn't in alignment with your values, it won't work. So I want to do more financially, but what that actually means to me is I need to help more people. But the more people that I bring into the business, the more time it takes away from my family. I put my son to bed tonight without brush. He told me, he's like, Mommy, you didn't brush my teeth. And I was like, I got probably 50 people waiting for me. I was like, honey, we'll do it in the morning. I make sacrifices here and there for other people, but I'm maxed. So, and I know that I'm maxed. So I hired and went to this event because I went, you know what, someone needs to help me because I need to be able to help more people so I can make more money and have more freedom for my family. Because I'm not interested in just sitting here. I want more people. I want to change the world. I want to help more. I want more people on these trainings. I want to help more people. but it's more work. So how do I automate? And that significance is freedom. So that's what I mean. So does that help you understand? And if you don't know right now, it's fine. But you need to get clear on that, okay? Doubt will kill your business. And I talk about having certainty. Doubt will kill your business. Doubt will crush your clarity in your message and your confidence. That is huge. Doubt will crush your clarity in your message and confidence. So that was my interpretation of something that he said, and it really hit me. Because I know, and you guys, if you guys have been watching anything that I post, I've been talking about certainty like all the time. I'm like certainty, certainty, certainty. I think that's why I've had the success that I've had, is I so believe in this business. I so believe in building your brand. I so believe in the online world so much. Like, I just know there's no other place on the earth that any entrepreneur should be, like, really. So doubt, what causes doubt? There's 4 things that Clay talked about that cause doubt: negative emotion, inner conflict, negative thinking, and limiting beliefs. I'll say those again. Negative emotion, inner conflict, negative thinking, and limiting beliefs. Negative emotion and negative thinking are usually a result of lack of gratitude. So that's why gratitude is so important. Inner conflict and limiting beliefs are your subconscious mind, which is why we do all this work around I am affirmations and constantly listening to trainings and constantly like brainwashing ourselves to rewire the way that we think. Your ability to articulate your message is everything. So that's why people struggle so much with feeling like they're pushing sales. They don't know how to articulate their message. And there's 3 things that you need to do in order to articulate a message. You need to have influence. You need to have status. And you need to have authority. Your ability to articulate your message is everything in your business. So I know a lot of people talk about confidence and like how confidence is authority. But confidence is really not something that you can fake. It just isn't. And I know it takes time to gain confidence. But you guys can go back and watch the videos when I first started. The main reason that I was able to shoot so many videos and I didn't have confidence, I have a hard time watching them, but I leave them up because I'm like, some people go back and they're like, gives me so much to go back and see where you started. It wasn't confidence that I had, it was courage. It was courage. I remember the first Brian had a contest and I was literally like, I hadn't had any sleep. I had a ball cap on. My hair was a mess. No makeup on. And he announced the contest. And it was like, nobody knew he was going to do it. So I got off that call. Actually, no, the call wasn't even over. And I was like, if I even think about this for 1 second, I won't do it. So I put the contest, it was on my laptop, and I put it on mute, and I grabbed my phone, and I went and shot it. And I sent it. And I remember thinking, you look terrible. I sent the contest to him. He ended up winning the contest because I was the fastest one. He was like, did you just did it? So it takes courage to act, not confidence. It takes courage to step up and do the right thing, even though you might not go the whole way. So it's courage. It starts with courage. Oh, I'm going to cry? Really? Now? I swear to God, I'm going to text him again. Like, I can't do this. Jesus. It's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. It's like literally like if I start crying, I'm going to be weeping. Like so I can't cry. Yeah, Selena, I know now. So act out of courage, do the right thing, knowing that you might not get there. That's true courage, right? So also, we talk about like keeping emotion out of business, right? Like I see people get really emotional because you get really frustrated. Just so you know, an emotion lasts 7 seconds. That's it. And your thought keeps it going. So when you're emotional about something that you probably shouldn't need to be emotional about, it's like your business not working. Oh, and I'll tell you this right now. Every single person said this, and I said it on Nikki and Colin's training on Sunday. Every single person that your business is struggling, it's because you have shit going on in your life. That is why you're struggling. You're struggling because something is not right in your personal life. Something's not right with you. Your business will be the first thing that will be affected. So if your business isn't succeeding, it's because you got issues going on in your life and you need to deal with them. So that's why getting in touch with your emotions and really being like, wow, I'm still emotional about this. And I've been emotional, well, in my case, 3 days, but I don't know why I'm emotional. But normally you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's something that you get frustrated about or whatever. So a couple things to help you guys really understand like milestone stories and getting overwhelming proof. So what a milestone stories is like, this is where I was, this is where I am, and this is where I'm going. So you have to know your story really well. You have to have it really dialed in. You also have to know where you are in there. But you don't ever want to share a story from a vulnerable place because that removes your authority. So you have to start speaking from your story from a place of the solutions that you found. Never ever talk about a story when you're in the middle of the garbage of it. Just keep that out. So I wouldn't have shared with you guys. I just figured out this about like giving something up. I didn't know that yesterday. The only reason I even shared with you guys that I'm like a mess is because I know why it's happening. It's because I know that I'm going from 6 to 7 figures, and people don't go from 6 to 7 figures just being who they are all the time. That's a big jump. So it's 10 times the amount. So I know why it's happening. And that's why I shared it. But if I didn't know that and I hadn't figured that out today, I would not have shared that with you guys. I just would have rolled through it, right? Because that, by telling you guys that, it comes from authority. But if I'm like, I'm just crying and I don't know why, you guys are going to be like, what, I'm taking a training from this woman? She's a lunatic. No. So it's because I told you solution, right? So this is when you guys are doing your social media and you're sharing your stuff. Are you posting the replay right after the call? I'll post it, Rania, when it uploads, probably tomorrow. So what you need to understand is that you need to understand your story, but you want to always tell it from a place of authority. And then you get overwhelming proof. Overwhelming proof. Think of how you can get proof. You want important people to talk about you. That's a big one. How do you get important people to talk about you? Well, if someone is doing really well on my team and they've shared something with me that I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Or even, if I can get someone high up to talk about me, like one of these guys at the event shared like a picture that with me and like tagged me in it. Like that's like important people are talking about me, getting around important people. You go to an event and they tag you in something. So also if you're on Instagram, that's why it's really good to share, to tag other people that are, because there might be a chance that they'll retag you in what you posted, right? Like I do that all the time. If somebody tags me in this training on Instagram, I'm going to repost it. It's going to have your information on it. You think people don't look? People look. Because what are they looking for? They're looking for proof. So they go look at everybody. So you want important people to talk about you. There's funnels, but I'm not going to get into funnels. But it's the same thing when you're building like a sales funnel. Proof. Do you understand the problem? and you have to get it across in a short period of time. Just so you guys know, you guys should have a 15 to 20 minute like mini webinar. Like I let like the team use it. It's 17 minutes long. Me and Melissa go into the business opportunity. Those little short videos they're saying are like where it's at. Longer webinars, nobody's watching them. But if you can do a 15 to 20 minute, like basically like your sales call, once you get to the point after you've pre-qualified someone, that's a good opportunity. The last thing I want to talk about is sales, and I'm also going to share a training with two people that I did today. They both had questions about sales. One of them just talked to a lot of people and just like isn't getting any buyers, and the other one was feeling uncomfortable around being pushy. So the reason you feel pushy or you're struggling with the sales is because you don't know what problems you're solving, first of all. You're not asking enough questions. You're not actually genuinely interested in helping somebody, or you just don't know the right questions to ask to find that out. So when you say something to somebody, it means something. But when they say something, it means everything. So when you say something, it means something to them. But when they say something, it means everything to them. So when you're talking to these people, it's really important that you are hearing them and that you get them to repeat back their problems, because that gives them courage and confidence and creates trust. But you don't buy into their story. If you're feeling like sleazy and salesy, it's because you actually don't really believe in what you're selling. So you have to believe in the message. You have to believe in the story that you have, and you have to believe in what you have in front of you. Stop waiting for proof of your own success to create a powerful something to sell for people. Because if you're waiting for something tangible to happen for you, then all you're waiting for is basically what you're waiting for is you're waiting for yourself to fail is what you're doing. Because you don't believe, you're like, as soon as I get this proof, I'm gonna sell this. You don't actually really believe in it. You're just waiting to see. But if you can answer that question that I asked you earlier, because every single one of you guys is here because you did believe at one point that you were going to change your life and that you were going to help other people do the same. Somewhere along the way, you got hard on yourself. You didn't believe in yourself. You threw away your courage. You threw away your ability to give something up for what you wanted. And you started getting too much into the methodology of things instead of just truly remembering why you're here and who are you going to help. How can you be of service to others? I very rarely see people. One of the things that I do is I have a few people that I work with, and I gave them a task to do. And that task was to go and learn something, go on YouTube, go type something in, sales, Dan Locke, sales, high ticket sales. Go learn some techniques, because I was always afraid of sales. So I spent a lot of time learning about sales because I wanted to understand it. I'm an amazing saleswoman. I actually am amazing. I would say it's one of my strongest skills, and I would have never known it. But I went on YouTube and I typed it in, and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I would walk and educate myself. Then what I would do is I would take that information and regurgitate it in a way that I felt could be useful for other people. That's what makes me valuable. I'm a professional regurgitator. That's basically what I do. I take something, I learn it, I get inspired, and then I repurpose it for my audience to use. I never steal people's content, but that's what I'm good at. I'm good at sharing. That's what Mike calls me, a sharer. He's like, you're just like a sharer. Like, you have so much knowledge. But I love to learn, and I love to learn for the purpose of sharing. So I love to learn. It's actually almost like a downfall sometimes, because I'm trying to read a book. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so good. I should go do a live. Or I'm like doing a yoga sequence, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got to film this and share it with some people. They'll love it. They'll be able to use it. So I can almost, a lot of times, I almost rarely can't experience it because I'm so excited to share it. But that's my gift. That's my goal. That's what I love. That's one of the reasons I've become so strong. So you have to find out what yours is. Maybe yours is the same thing, right? What was the name of the dude with the high ticket sales training? So that's Kayvon, was his name. I have, Nikki, I'll send you some stuff. I have literally like every single slide. I don't want to give away the slides to like the group and stuff. I want to actually do an entire training on sales, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it in the back office, or not in the ACE back office, but also put it in Abundance Unleashed. And then Nikki, you guys can have it too. But I want to take all those slides because that was actually one of my favorite parts of the entire thing. He really talked about Kayvon K. Yeah. He really talked about, he actually, the biggest thing for Kayvon is he said personal development. If you hate sales, it's because you don't like yourself. So you don't have a vision. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in what you have is valuable. And yeah, if you're selling something that you don't believe in, for sure you're going to feel like it's unethical. But if you guys are actually coming to these trainings and you're learning this information, this is incredibly valuable information. You guys need to start talking to people. Like, start talking to people, and you'll realize how valuable this is. Like, there's people that go to school for this kind of stuff. They don't learn anything like we learn. There are people that have spent, you guys think that you spent a lot because you bought a trifecta? Oh my gosh. You guys, I spent $20,000 last month, and I didn't get another water machine. Straight training. I spent $20,000 in 1 month on training. And you think I bought 2 trifectas. So the fact is what you guys need to understand is there is so much information, and you need to stop looking at what's not working and what hasn't worked for you, and really realize the gold mine you guys have here. You guys, when this recession hits in a couple of years, guess where everybody's going to want to go? Online. There's so much room for all of us. So you guys got to get clear on your message. Got to get clear on what you're valuable for. And you have to have the courage to share it. That's all it takes is courage. Dan Locke, L-O-K. Somebody wrote it down. Kayvon K. You always speak from the heart. You want to help others. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. I do. Because I do think that, you know why I care so much, you guys? Because I bet you I've talked to more people than 99% of the people on this call. I've spoken to so many people, and it absolutely breaks my heart to literally see people that are working 2 to 3 jobs. Their kids are in full-time childcare. They can't go on a vacation. Their body's starting to shut down. They're most likely going to get cancer soon because they're so depressed and exhausted. It breaks my heart that people just truly don't know what's possible. I would have never known if I wouldn't have went to this event that $10 million a month is possible. I want to share that with people. I want people to realize that it is as simple as working on yourself and having a mechanism and having a group of people. It takes a lot of undoing. But I want people to have more courage to change their lives. And my sons are going to grow up with those other kids. And shit rolls downhill or something like that. People say they're unhappy. It's going to go down. It's going to keep going. And I want my kids to grow up in a good world, So if I posted this yesterday, I think it was yesterday. If your reasons aren't big enough, your excuses will be. Your reasons have to be big. If they're not, your excuses will be bigger. And you'll always choose the excuse road. You will. You'll choose the excuse road because it keeps you right. It validates you. They talked all about this at the event too. Continues to validate why you're not where you're at. Your excuses. I have to wait for this. I have to wait for perfection. There is certain reasons, and yeah, I'll do a full training. I knew the sales part was just such a big part of it, and it was like I actually took more notes on the sales part of it, but I actually want to do a full training just on sales, because I think that people think sales, and I actually said this today, but it's not true. People think sales are the end result, but you're already doing sales from the moment you post. The sales starts at the very beginning, and it goes throughout everything. The sales isn't just the pitch. It's not just the pitch. The pitch is just the last part of the sale. So I think the sales, obviously, are the most important part. So we have about 10 minutes left. I want to save that for any specific questions that you guys have. That is related to what I'm talking about. Please don't someone say, can we look at my ad? Because we're not in that phase right now. Let me just read some of these comments. Shane wrote, I want to make fat stacks of cash so that I can buy off my problems, buy my freedom. I have been a servant for most of my life, and I'm for those that need me the most. Okay, so I'm going to speak to this. Can you guys mute yourselves? Someone's unmuted and is really loud. Or can someone go through and find them? So, Shane, I love the passion. And you do eventually get into that you don't have enough time for those that need me the most. Your vision and your goals need to be about others. So the reason that you don't have the results that you want is because they're too me focused. And I'm just saying that based on what you wrote. There's too much me in there. Which at the end of the day, I said I want to make more money. But I want to make more money because I'm going to be helping more people. Like essentially, I just know that I'm going to make more money if I help more people because I know I can solve problems. So it's really important for you. You've been a servant for most of your life, but what are your talents that you can help people with? And I know that's a big one because I know you, Shane. I know that's a big one that you struggle with, but I want you to really dial into why you're important and what your value is. And then how can you solve someone else's problems because you have that gift? I know that I get in front of people and I inspire them. I know I light them up. I know that's my gift. So I will continue. That's why, you guys, I did these trainings when I had one person on my team. I started weekly trainings when I had one person on my team. I had trainings where literally only one person showed up. I had trainings where nobody showed up, but I showed up every day. I knew that this was my gift. I knew that if I could get in front of people, I would inspire them. I know that's my gift. Shane, what's your gift? And
hey, Shauna, can you mute Clayton Ball, I believe his name is? Page
Sorry, man.
Can you mute your device, bro?
Hello.
Can you mute yourself? Did he do it? I can't even see him. Oh, there he is. I'll mute him. There, he's muted. Okay, so I won't beat that dead horse too much longer. But Shane, we can talk about that more. Are you posting replay? What was the name of the dude with high ticket sales? On your true inspiration. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Confessions of a Rebel Marketer. Yeah, we can add the. I have a bunch of books that I wrote down that they recommended. But smooth and on point. We're not going to have it all figured out in one day. Take your business step by step, one thing at a time. Yeah, so one of the biggest things that they all talk about is your brand is never done. It's never done. Brand is never done. If we know we are struggling with confidence, what's the best first step? Video. More video. Get on video more. You need to encourage. The number one way to increase your confidence is to video yourself and post it.
Shauna, sorry, he's unmuted again, so.
He's muted now again. I think he just muted himself again. Okay. Confidence comes when you get good at something, which means you have the courage to do it. No. See, that's the problem. That's exactly the problem, Natasha. No, I'm not. This is perfect. This is perfect because this is why people don't do shit. Because you think you have to be good at something first. That's what's holding people back from doing Goal Lives. That's what's holding people back from sharing information. No. Confidence comes after you have the courage to fail. Your confidence will come because you're not scared of failing anymore because you've done it so many times. You get numb to it, but you learn from it. So it's the total opposite. Do you guys understand that? Do you see how that, and Natasha, you're not the only one. I bet you over 85% of people on this call think that way. Like, I don't even know, like when I owned my yoga studio, people would literally say, oh, I have to get more flexible before I come to yoga. And I was like, do you have to get more dirty before you have a bath? Are you not going to have a bath because you're not dirty? Like, I don't understand. Why would you need to do something before? No, you show up, you fail. You know what the difference, you guys, between a powerful and a successful entrepreneur and a not one is? One just hasn't failed enough. I don't know if you guys know this, but I lost $200,000 in business before I found this. I'm still paying that off. I have to pay, actually, I'm not even going to tell you guys because most of you will throw up. But if you guys know what I pay a month in bills to pay those businesses off, you would barf. So it's just a matter of like, I was like, it's just money, whatever. I'm not scared to fail anymore because I've done it enough. Jessica says, Shauna, you're so right. After a call today, I had a client come in for a full color and cut. We talked for 3 hours about this business and what the possibilities are. She was amazed. She wants to get both of her sons going with their passions and making money. Absolutely. Now we need to close that sale like tomorrow. So we need to find out why that sale is not closed. This is amazing. I've learned so much from this call. Good, Miranda. That's great. Sounds like someone in a car. One of the best calls to date. Wow, that's amazing. Clayton. Oh my God. Okay. I know a lot of moms get lost after having their babies, but remember who you were before. We aren't lost. You have so much value to offer. 100%. Who were you before you had babies? I know I want to do this because I want to make a difference. And I feel like I'm part of something bigger than I am. But like you were saying, where your business can't be successful if you have personal problems. So how do you keep pushing the business and trying to start in the midst of that? I feel like I have absolutely nothing to give at the end of the day. Your goals have to be big enough that they keep you a little bit awake at night and a little bit scared, but that they're big enough that you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning. Your why is not big enough. You don't have a big enough reason. You want to do this because you want to make a difference. What difference? What's your message? You guys have to get clear on your message. Make a difference. What does that mean? You want to make fat people skinny? You want to help disabled children disabled people be able to work from home? You want women to be able to leave abusive relationships because they're not relying on finances? You want women that have lost their passions to be able to go back to them and still get help with their kids. You want to help men get out of the oil patch because their families are like, what difference do you want to make? This is why your guys' whys have to be clear. The biggest reason that you're not succeeding besides the personal development stuff is because you're not clear. That's all. Literally, you need to get clear. What's your message? And the way you get clear is by keeping on talking to people and finding out like what problems do you want to solve. So Sarah, I would get super duper clear on what you want to do. Then you'll be able to have more courage to talk about it, and then you'll have you'll gain the confidence. You touched on what you talked about of having stuff going on in your life, how to figure out what's holding you back. Okay, yeah, so perfect, Kelly. Let's talk about what's going on in people's lives. The moment you guys stop talking about how things are affecting you and the things are happening to you, how are they happening for you? Everything happens for you. When I was on this trip, I was driving. I had a lot of like really strong epiphanies on this trip. I was driving and I don't talk to my father. My father was mentally abusive, and he was literally that man that sat across the table from me, and I was either chewing too loud, chewing too fast, not eating fast enough, not sitting upright, chewing or slurping. There was literally nothing I could do. And that went on at like most meals, depending on how much he drank. That would affect everything. I would go hunting with him. And at the very young age, he was 6'4". And I started hunting with him when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I would try and jump in his exact footsteps. I would break a branch or make a noise. I used to hold my peace so long that I was in pain because I didn't know when the right time to ask was. I was literally a child on edge. Okay, so, but you know what? I would not be the woman I am today had I not had him as a father. I would not want people to ever have to have a lack of confidence, because I know what it's like not to be able to make eye contact with any person because being afraid that I was going to be told, get in trouble for something. I couldn't make eye contact with anybody till I was probably, I remember in 5th grade, my teacher yelling at me about it because I used to always have my head down and I cover my face. I would not be the woman I am sitting here in front of all you guys if I didn't know the suffering from that. So you know what? Thank you. Thank you to him. I do not have resentment towards him. I am grateful for him. I've blessed him. Literally. And I'm not like, oh, thank you. Look who I am. I'm like, thank you. Because if I didn't know that, I would not be who I am. Going through separation, our exes do this and they do this and they've done this and they've done this. And it's like, if you're not taking these hard times and finding solutions, then yeah, you become a victim and then you become right. So when you have stuff going on in your personal life, how is it working for you? Because every single thing in your life is working for you. Every single thing. It's making you who you are today. The difference between someone that is ready for change and someone who's not is they're the quickest ones to look for a solution. You cannot control what anybody else does. All you can control is who you are. And when you start taking responsibility for every single thing that's happening in your life, 100% responsibility for who you are in every relationship, in every instance, in everything, when you start taking full responsibility over your life, you'll become successful because you will be in control of yourself. You will own all of your shit. And you will not spend any time in the emotion. You will just say thank you to everything that makes you who you are. It's the way you're telling the story that's crippling you. So I hope that helps, because I take responsibility for everything in my life. And people go, oh, that's such a heavy thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. You are responsible for not how others react to you, but you're responsible for how others interpret you. You're responsible for how you interpret others. So if you take responsibility, you will become an incredibly empowered person. Good enough. The confidence comes from taking action. Preach. Not preaching. Just speaking from experience. That's all. I've been through all this stuff. So I don't like myself on videos, so I delete them all before putting them on. Are you saying put them on anyways? Yes. Yes. That's the first thing. I used to hate my voice. If I heard a recording of my voice, I cringed. Now I actually rewatch every single thing I post. I'll rewatch every single thing I post, every single go live, every single video at least 2 times. And it's because I'm watching. Oh, that gap was too long. Oh, I should have taken that out. And that's why I've gotten really good at cutting. I can cut a video together in no time. But it's because I've done it so much. So yes, post them all. For your time and helping me focus on why I'm here. Mick, you're welcome, Mick. Awesome call. Crazy amount to learn from you. Good. Inspired, I feel better, sending positive vibes. Thank you, Candace. Your why doesn't make you cry. Your why isn't big enough. Yes, just don't cry for too long, damn it. Or get professional help from a freaking hypnotherapist. Wake up with determination. Go to bed with satisfaction. In a perfect world, I will be totally honest. There's many nights I don't feel satisfied at night because I'm like, but then it gets me up in the day because I'm like, okay, I got to finish that. Right. You blame with elegance. You know what you became because of him. 100%. I would not be who I am had I had a perfect childhood. No. Tony Robbins talks about that. Talks about his mom. He is so happy and so committed to helping people in their marriages because he wants the woman to be happy. Really. Because he doesn't want anybody to ever grow up with a mother like he had. But he loves his mom. He blesses her. It's very powerful. Own your shit. There was nothing I did right for my dad. He tried to put my brother and myself against each other until I separated from him. I did see how abusive my home really was. Still have a hard time with prolonged eye contact, working towards letting the hurt go, and be grateful for the lessons. And be grateful for him. Find a way to own who you were in that relationship. That's a hard one. And I know it's hard. But I owned who I was in the relationship, especially when I got older. And I blamed him for everything. Imagine what that would be like. My dad was abused bad. I know he was, and I know he was picked on really bad. And imagine just being so unhappy. You think, I know he has guilt. I know he has guilt. I know it. But then imagine just not really understanding how to love and your child blaming you for everything. Emotionally, it's not like I was terrified of him. I still to this day have not really stood up to him, but he knows I blame him emotionally. He can tell. And imagine how hard that is. So now he's suffering even more. So you got to own it. You got to own what you blamed him for too. And it's very, very empowering to get there. Wise words, boom, love it, holy moly, good, Noel, glad you like it. I was sick and had to cancel my classes. I was meant to be on this live. Yes, or call in sick. I hate the way my mouth goes sideways when I get on a video. I've been posting my videos anyways, my win for the week. Good. I don't never noticed your mouth went sideways. So it's changing my life so much already. And you know what? Those little imperfections are what there was a guy at the training who couldn't say his R's. Couldn't actually say his R's till he was like grade 5. 2 of the people there actually were told that they were in special needs classes. That was like really cool for me to hear. One of them had to repeat grade 1. He was like, who the fuck has to repeat grade 1? And I'm sitting in the back going, they want my son to repeat kindergarten, actually. So yeah, I know. That was Kayvon K. He was told in grade 1, he actually even in college, they told him that he wasn't allowed to go to college because he was so bad at school. He had to repeat grade 1 or 2, and he literally did special needs classes. You'd never know it. Never know it. Nothing's finite except for death. But other than that, and that should be the reason that you are going to go for everything that you want, because you might not be here tomorrow. You could die. It's true. It could happen. Driving for 30 hours makes you tired. Go to bed, Cheyenne, and stop killing animals. Thank you. I have 6 pages of notes. I'll be reading them and using this information to the fullest. I took my 5 years to stop blaming my dad for the emotional abuse he did to me, and after I stopped blaming him and let it go, I started to feel better, and I thanked him for helping me become me. Yeah. Perfect. You got it. So I feel like we can end on that note. If anybody has anything else that they want to say or ask, we are 10 minutes over, but we did start. Actually, we started at 8:07, so, but I had toddler interruption. I think everybody's good. I think it was a good call. You retained almost everybody. I appreciate you guys all. You're fucking amazing. You guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't have invested what I have in my business had I not truly believed I could help more people. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to have faith in myself to go and do these things, because now I came back and there was 30 people on the call on Sunday. There's almost 60 people on this call tonight. The ripple effect is going to happen because all of you guys are going to take at least one thing that you learned tonight and you're going to go apply it. And then that ripple effect creates more. So I really, really, truly want you guys to understand that I'm over the moon grateful for you guys. Over the moon. This has changed my life. And you guys have changed my life. And I'm going to cry. I'm not doing this. Okay, it's over. It's over. I'm leaving. Gotta go. Love you all. How do you get on Sunday calls? We'll talk about that. Don't cry too much longer. I know. Like, I'm gonna slam those doors. Bye, guys. Take care.